After 26 games into the NBA season, you might be very surprised to figure out that your Southeast Division champion, if the season were to end today, is the Charlotte Hornets. And I understand that nobody cares about division championships because it's just not something that really matters. But if you're a Charlotte Hornets fan, or if you were a Charlotte Bobcats fan when they were the Bobcats, you'd understand that this would be the first division championship in franchise history. Not only this, but it would come only a full season after you lost Kemba Walker, possibly the best player in franchise history. I think the best thing that could have happened to the Charlotte Hornets and to the fans of this franchise is that almost every single player that is playing meaningful minutes for this team was pretty overlooked when it came to where they were drafted, where they were considered among free agent acquisition, where they were just ranked amongst the rest of their peers. Gordon Hayward was looked at as possibly one of the worst and overpaid free agent acquisitions that we've had in a long time. Devontae Graham and Terry Rozier were never really talked about when it came to backcourt rankings. And the roster has a lot of guys like Miles Bridges, Malik Monk, and many other guys who, up to this point in their career, were unfulfilling lottery picks. And then the second that LaMelo Ball became a Hornet with a third overall pick, they became an elite team in the Eastern Conference. And I understand that 12-14 is definitely not an elite record. And being ranked as the 7th best seed in the Eastern Conference is not elite. But when you look at this team, and when you especially look at a team after LaMelo Ball became the starting point guard with Devontae Graham going out with injury, this team has taken off, not only in terms of being able to put wins on the board, but being able to be one of the most energetic and fun-loving teams in the NBA. Melo Ball hasn't just, established himself on the court for a team that is under 500. He's established himself off the court with his teammates and with the guys that he's playing with. He's not just become a player on the team, but he's become a guy in the system that not only is able to show and have fun with the team, but he's able to spread that positivity to the rest of the roster. And with guys who are younger, like Miles Bridges, Malik Monk, who I said who, up to this point in their career, are probably considered unfulfilling lottery picks, having somebody like LaMelo Ball to play with probably gives them a lot more confidence on the court and has them having a lot more fun than they're used to. And then when you just look at the box score, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal a game since he became a starter, shooting 44% from the field and an astounding 51% from 3. Even the free throw is 89%. So there's really, since he became a starter, nothing that LaMelo Ball has been able to show a weakness in. The only thing that really you might be able to say is just he doesn't look great on defense, but he's a rookie. No rookie looks great on defense. And the one guy that I think has, suffered the most success from playing with LaMelo Ball is Gordon Hayward. Like I said, Gordon Hayward was probably looked at as one of the worst free agent acquisitions and overpaid free agent acquisitions that we've seen in a long time. And, deservedly so. He struggled in Boston. He had an incredibly life and career-altering injury in the first game of his Boston Celtics tenure. And by the time he came back and was healthy, he never really was 100% healthy, and he never really was at the top of his game. And for a guy like Gordon Hayward, who's going to be turning 31 soon, I'm sure having all of these guys around him who are making highlight plays and who are, pretty much taking all the storylines that are coming out of Charlotte, I think it's taken the most pressure off of him. He's scoring a career high in points. He's had a career high in many of his shooting percentages, including 42.5% from 3. And he's just being able to play freely. I think that's probably the one thing he wasn't able to do in Boston is he just kind of was the 4th or 5th guy to get the ball and play how he wanted. We saw in Boston when he was actually able to be aggressive on his own and be a guy to take the ball and make plays, he actually was pretty efficient, and he looked like the guy in Utah that earned an All-Star appearance. And now that he's in Charlotte and he's playing with guys who are going to be taking up a load of the highlight plays, Gordon Hayward is going to be kind of that silent assassin out of Charlotte that we're talking about at All-Star time as a very viable All-Star candidate. Now, is a team that's 12-14 at this point right now a championship contender? If you look at the Charlotte Hornets right now, you'd say no, they're 12-14. They're not even a 500 record team, guy. Why are they a playoff contender? Why are they even a finals contender? But we've seen proven time and time again, especially in the Eastern Conference, that seeding really does not mean anything. The Miami Heat were the 4th seed last year. They took down Indiana, Boston, and Milwaukee en route to an Eastern Conference championship. And they really were a team that I think is like the Charlotte Hornets. They have somebody like Jimmy Butler, who has been really doubted throughout his career, especially going up to the point where he went to Miami. And when he got to Miami, all he did was outwork everybody and become the all-star in Miami. That's kind of what Gordon Hayward's path has been right now in Charlotte. Then you look at the other guys like Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, young guys like Charlotte has right now with Miles Bridges, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Devontae Graham. This team in Charlotte is a lot better than a lot of people want to give them credit for. And at this point, they're actually getting a lot more credit for how well they've played. But more credit needs to be given to a lot of guys who, like I said, have been very overlooked up to this point in their careers. The Charlotte Hornets right now are a classic case of if the top players are playing at their best, everybody's going to be playing at their best. And yes, while 12-14 is not the best record in the world, and it's really not anywhere near being the first overall seed in the Eastern Conference, the record and seeding in the East really does not matter, and it's at a low point in terms of mattering when you look at teams like the Brooklyn Nets, who are only 3 games over 500. The record and seeding in the Eastern Conference just does not matter anymore. All that really matters is you make it. And if the Charlotte Hornets make the Eastern Conference playoffs, I would really put my money on them being able to beat 3 teams en route to an Eastern Conference Finals championship. With all that being said, that's going to be the video for me. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like. If you didn't, make sure you leave a dislike. Any feedback from you all at this point is much appreciated. If you're one of my returning subscribers, I appreciate you a lot. If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.